Hello, it's me, Tracy, the sweary witch. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. The clue's in the name. I got told off actually, not told off, but a friend said, oh, some people have been watching your videos and they really like them, but they said you give this warning about swearing, then you're a bit tame. And I was like, yeah, because Americans watch this and they freak out at the singlest little bit of swearing. They're not so bothered about death by shooting, but they're really bothered about swearing. Anyway, fuck it. I've had to have a drink. I've been ill the past few days. Mal a la tête. I've been mad as a coot. But I'm unmad enough to do this today. And I shoot it in this light at the minute because I think I look about 700 years old. So this kind of works like a vampire in my living room. If you hear any noise from the street, I live on the Broadway in a very busy part of London and people are very impatient. So you'll probably hear a lot of beeping. Anyway, I was thinking, number one, I haven't introduced myself, started making films and going, hiya, right, I'm just going to tell you stuff. So I was an actress on screen for years, a lot of years, around 20 years. And then because my son was born, I swapped it to writing, which I'd done my whole life, but I properly started writing and wrote films, radio plays, and then finally graduated to writing books. And what I was going to talk about is I got published by an amazing publisher a year and a half ago-ish. But I'd written the book 11 years ago, the first one. And it's a series and I got a 5-book deal. I'm a very lucky girl. But it took a fuck ton of work. So one of the things that I think society has done, which is really, really bad to people, and I've been noticing from what people have been saying to me recently, is the overnight success thing. Like if I was in a category now being voted for because one of my books was good, I would be probably best newcomer. Best newcomer. I've been writing for 4 million years, but I'd be best newcomer. I'm going to have a little sip of this. But I meet people all the time who believe that overnight success is how you do it. And I'm telling you, overnight success virtually doesn't exist. It virtually does not exist. People who suddenly become really famous overnight either have got the most amazing PR team behind them ready to push them, right? So they didn't so much become famous overnight as they suddenly appeared everywhere overnight. So it's a media trick. And then people follow because they're a bunch of big sheep. And the other one is like 50 Shades of Grey. Same sort of thing. Everyone thinks that this person released this book and by strange osmosis, everyone guessed they were going to love it and 12 million people bought it. That is not what happened. You know, 50 Shades of Grey was fan fiction little stories about Twilight written by the writer. And it went on all of these websites or whatever to do with Twilight. And there were like millions of people ready for that to become a book. She wasn't an overnight success. She was just absolutely incredible at marketing. Right, so no, overnight success is bollocks. What you have to do is hard work for years sometimes to get what you want in this life. And it never feels like, woohoo, I'm there. There's always another hurdle. So I was just thinking the other day, a writer had said to me she'd written something and handed it in and it's been weeks and nobody's taken it yet. And I was like, fucking hell. Mate, you know, try not having anything in your house to eat for a few months. I'm not lying. You know, live on oven chips. Have times where you're totally in despair. Really, 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 really depressed and upset and think it's not going to happen. Get up in the morning feeling suicidal, but you kind of give it 2 hours to be upset, then make yourself have a coffee and make yourself breathe and go, right, I'm not indulging any more of this today, and motivate and self-motivate. Everything, not just writing, everything that you want in life, mostly, unless you've got a family that's going to boot you to the top, right, with very little work and usually not enough talent, and then you fall again like a fucking dart from 5 million feet, right? Unless you've got that, it's work. It's hard work, and doing the hard work sometimes is knackering. It's absolutely knackering. And I wrote a book before Christmas in 7 weeks, but I had a plan, and I just wrote, right? And got it finished. I'm in love with it. The people who have allowed to read it, they love it as well. Am I now comfortably off and rich? No. How long will it take for money to come through bit by bit for my books? 6 months, a year, 2 years. It's just a battle. Everything's a battle. And people who are depressed at the moment, can I just say, from your battling, everyone's battling. And people who are saying they're not battling are absolutely fucking lying to you, or they're getting help. So stop believing this bullshit about some people just have this blessed thing. Some people are lucky in that they have an amazing attitude to life. So things just come to them, they see it and they don't see the bad stuff. I'm a nutter and I see the bad stuff all the time and I get really upset and I can't get out of bed and I don't want to talk to anyone. And like the past few days, I just wanted to hide under my pillow. You know, stop believe life can be lovely. But have slightly more realistic, enjoy the journey of becoming what you want to become, and stop expecting everything to just fall on your plate, because it won't. And for those of you who know this fine well through long experience, lovely things do come though. There's the other side of that. Because after all of this time, I ended up with this massive, 5-book deal with Pan Macmillan. Pan wrote the ghost stories, published the ghost stories that were my influence when I was a small child. And now I'm with Pan Macmillan and they've published my books. Wonderful things happen. They just don't happen in 5 minutes. They happen in 5 years, 10 years, whatever. Okay? So that's the lecture over. I had to have a drink to do this tonight because I'm so crazy at the minute. So, if you're feeling a bit mad, I hope you feel better tomorrow. Namaste over there.